All right, welcome back to the channel. So Keith Thurman says that Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez cherry picked throughout their whole career. He was stating that Canelo Alvarez cherry picked and also Floyd Mayweather cherry picked to preserve their career and keep their names intact. I'm finna break it down for y'all. Let's talk about it in this video. King Jr. got another video for y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel to get all your latest boxing news. I'm going to try to keep the boxing news coming. With that being said, so Keith Thurman has some strong words to say about how he feels about Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather. Obviously, he feels like both of them has cherry picked throughout their careers to preserve their career. Well, that ain't the case. There was numerous of times where Keith Thurman had opportunities to fight the best of the best opposition, and he chose not to fight. Let's go back when Keith Thurman was a unified champion at the welterweight division. He damn near went over some country to do damn slap boxing instead of defending his WBC title, which Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, I believe, had to fight for the vacant title. And he eventually lost that fight, lost his title, sorry guys, because he didn't want to fight the best of the best anymore in the WBC, so he only had the WBA. And we seen Floyd Mayweather told Keith Thurman that, hey, if you beat Errol Spence Jr., I would give you a shot at me. And we all know at that time, Floyd Mayweather already rectified his career, already was a Hall of Famer. And Floyd Mayweather at that time had nothing left to prove. So Floyd Mayweather, I have Floyd Mayweather beating Keith Thurman if they would have fought. But Keith Thurman feel like Floyd Mayweather was setting him up to lose, take his O away and stuff like that. And we seen Keith Thurman nearly lost against not nearly, he lost to a majority decision from Manny Pacquiao. With that being said, Keith Thurman had many opportunities to fight Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. asked Keith Thurman when we go into unify the division, and Keith Thurman says, you gonna get your chance, little pup. Not yet. And before all that, even when Errol Spence didn't have a belt, Keith Thurman said, if Errol Spence get a belt, I will fight him. And that fight never came to fruition. And Errol Spence stated that he would never do business with Keith Thurman. He doesn't like Keith Thurman as a person. He feels like he's fake, and he will never give Keith Thurman a fight. And Errol Spence is on record stating that if I had to fight Keith Thurman for undisputed, I'm not going to fight him for undisputed because it makes no sense to fight such a liar. So with that being said, to me, Keith Thurman cannot say that Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez cherry picked through their careers, because at that time Canelo Alvarez was a young Canelo Alvarez, and Austin Trout was one of the best guys at 154. And Canelo Alvarez, how he got the fight with Floyd Mayweather is that Floyd Mayweather told Canelo Alvarez, look, if you fight Austin Trout and beat Austin Trout, I will give you a shot. And Canelo Alvarez beat Austin Trout, and he got it. And Canelo Alvarez got his shot. And even though he lost to Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez has became a better fighter today. Eat, sleep, and breathe boxing. And I just think that Canelo Alvarez won't take a loss for a very, very long time. Well, Keith Thurman had a lot of opportunities to fight the best opposition. He's got an opportunity to fight Jaron Ennis. He came on record saying that he didn't even know who that boy was, and then he turned around a few weeks later to say, look, I will fight Jaron Ennis. I won't duck you like Floyd Mayweather. So Keith Thurman said he's willing to fight Jaron Ennis if he draws up the contract. And we seen a debacle that Keith Thurman stated that he will fight Terrence Crawford as well. I don't believe the bull. Keith Thurman also stated that let me backtrack. Keith Thurman also stated that we can fight within 8 months. Terrence Crawford stated that, why do we need to wait 8 months to fight? You must not be that confident in your abilities. And Keith Thurman decides to backtrack and says, look, I'm not going to fight the best opposition. I just want to put on the most glamorous fight so I could look good for the business of boxing. So Keith Thurman is on record multiple times stating that he's not willing to fight the best of the best, but he is willing to fight Terrence Crawford if he takes a 60-40 split. And Terrence Crawford obviously not going to give Keith Thurman a 60-40 split after him being off a damn near 2-year layoff. With that being said, Keith Thurman feels like that Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather cherry picked through their careers. That's how they preserve their careers. That's not the case, because Canelo Alvarez fought the best opposition around his time, and Canelo Alvarez still have a lot of time to prove that he's one of the best Mexican fighters of our generation. Floyd Mayweather has already proven that he is fighting the best of the best. Now, there were some fights that people felt like Floyd Mayweather should have done. I still have Floyd Mayweather winning all those fights, but at that time, Floyd Mayweather lucky that he didn't have to fight Errol Spence Jr., because I think that Errol Spence Jr., we all know Errol Spence Jr. was piecing him up in the fight, and actually Errol Spence Jr. gave him a black eye and stuff like that, and Floyd Mayweather had a fight against somebody, I forgot who he was, upcoming fighting, and his dad senior said, get him out of my gym. But with that being said, guys, I don't understand why Keith Thurman is trying to say that Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez cherry picked through their careers. Now, y'all can say whatever y'all want about Canelo Alvarez cherry picking through his career. It's just my opinion. I believe Canelo Alvarez is coming for the best of the best. I believe he's going to fight the best of the best. I think Canelo Alvarez is just trying to make history for his name and rectify his name in the Hall of Fame. I think that he's going to beat all these guys like a Jamal Charlo, David Benavidez, all these guys, in the top of the game in boxing today. And I don't understand why Keith Thurman would say some stuff like this. Keith Thurman, you have been ducking Errol Spence your entire career. You don't barely even want to fight with Terrence Crawford. So you shouldn't even be talking all the crap that you are saying, because you're not even dedicated to the sport of boxing. You is willing to get a bag and get out of the sport. And it makes no sense. Why are you saying numerous and crazy things about these past fighters? Well, Canelo Alvarez is not a past fighter, but he's about to be a past fighter in the next 6 to 7 years. But it makes no sense. Keith Thurman had a chance. He had a chance to become somebody in the welterweight division. He stayed at welterweight his whole career, and he had a chance to beat Errol Spence. Keith Thurman could have potentially been undisputed. If Keith Thurman would have stayed focused in the sport of boxing, he would have been undisputed. I think he would have beat Terrence Crawford. I think he would have beat Errol Spence Jr. if Keith Thurman was focused. If that was one time from 2015 to 2013, I think he would have beat all these guys. If that was still the same one time, he would have been the man in the welterweight division. And Keith Thurman someday could be a potential Hall of Famer, but Keith Thurman still have something to prove. So, with that being said, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think Keith Thurman is right that Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez cherry picked through their careers? I sure don't believe it. I think them guys are Hall of Famers for sure. Keith Thurman is just mad at the end of the day that Errol Spence declines him and he wants nothing to do with him. That's how I feel about the whole situation. So Keith Thurman, you say you want Terrence Crawford. Try to make a deal done with Terrence Crawford. Don't use no outrageous numbers, whatever or not. But at the end of the day, Keith Thurman is Keith Thurman. But with that being said, guys, it is what it is. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. This is your boy King Jr. I'm out of here. Peace.